What's up, Sports Maniacs, and welcome to a brand newly named All Sports Media Presents Dubl Drbl. This is episode 26 now. Bring the Ring, and the reason we're calling it Bring the Ring is we're going to do yet another VBL recap. This was week number 2. We went into this week, on a down point, but our team pulled it out, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Before we get into that, I want to announce my panel. I got G to the side of me over here. You got Coach in the house. We got our dude George Ochola, who got amazing photos and video, which I'll let you guys see in a little bit. And we got
thank you.
Doc ISO in the house. Doc ISO, Doc Sheree Toscano. You'll know why she's Doc ISO in a little bit.
Congratulations, Doc.
That's her new name. I'm sorry, it's sticking. So
you guys are just trying to make my head big. Like I'm staying.
Well, you deserve it.
I'm staying humble. I'm staying humble.
You deserve it, and you're gonna need to tell people why.
I got to score.
Yeah, well, you scored by saving 2 games. So, but we'll get into that in a little bit. We were supposed to have a guest. Guest had family issues, which happens. Life happens. You move on. That's just how life works. So again, like I was saying, we talked last week about the VBL before and how we had struggled and a couple things that we could have made better and, things like that. Then we went into this week's VBL this past Sunday, I believe it was, and we were a whole nother team. First game, we got taken down pretty bad by Los Fearless, I believe it was. Took us out pretty bad. I still had hope. I know G still had hope. George, same thing. Coach, I was updating all day, literally. Hilarious. But you guys never gave up, and you guys kept pushing, and you guys kept going, and you overcame the adversity that you needed to do, and you came out on top. Before we jump in to reliving that event, courtesy of George Ochola down there and his awesome videographer skills, Doc, I'm going to come to you. What was it like first facing Los Fearless in the very first round? How did you feel? And then the run was insane. And then having to face Los Fearless in the finals again. How did you feel?
Well, I know everybody doesn't have the same faith that's watching, but personally, God kind of put this in my head about David and Goliath, and he gave that to me in the message the first week, and we lost. And we went up against the beast, who I was like, okay, that must have been the Goliath, right? But we lost. And that's not what happens in the story of David and Goliath. So I was kind of confused. And then this week, the first people that we went up against were the people that we got eliminated by, Los Fearless. They ended up going undefeated throughout the entire tournament. And then we ended up coming back through the losers bracket and then beating them in the finals and the championship. And then I was like, oh, I know what you mean now, God. Like, yeah, David and Goliath, perfect. So the first game going up against them, it was like, all right, this is chance for redemption. Like, here we go. Like, this is going to be it. We're about to knock them out right now. Mm-hmm. And then we lost. And then it was like, okay, well, it's going to be a long day, right? But never once did anything cross, I think, any of our minds that we were going to be eliminated on Sunday. Like, we were determined. And we had Buddha there, which is a big help, more like for the morale of the team. He works hard. He's a leader that shows by example, and everybody kind of like follows suit. So I don't think it was ever in anybody's mind that we were going to be eliminated.
You notice she left.
Then going up against them in the championship, that was very surreal because, again, they were undefeated, and it's like, oh, we meet again, but I just knew we were going to win. And I think everybody else felt like that too. So There was like this confidence. Like, I just knew we were going to, like, we couldn't go through all of that just to lose to these homies again in the championship. You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. And those dudes were huge, like physically brick houses. They're monsters. Notice, gentlemen.
Exactly, monsters.
Yeah. Notice, gentlemen, that this awesome Doc ISO down here did not mention once that she saved not one, but 2 games when the ISO card came out. G, how did you feel when that part came out?
Well, first of all, soon as I believe it was the first game. After the first game, she came up to me and she told me how scared she was, and then
I'm an open book.
and then for her to go and do it again and hold it down, I'm so proud of you, Doc. You did so good. And wow, just like the game overall, like it was great. And for you guys to come back, it was just an amazing for me to see, and it was great. Just a great experience. Definitely.
Crazy.
I think I need to have that same mentality when I'm playing, because if it's like I need to do this for the team, then I go into a completely different mode.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something that happens like when you become a mom, like your mentality kind of shifts about things and you soften a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you may soften, but
I have to do whatever I can do
mm-hmm.
to make sure that we don't lose,
Doc,
that they don't score.
Well, Doc, with that being said, you had your daughters there. How did you feel going home that day, knowing that you held it down not once but twice, and you guys went home with the championship?
Well, I really wanted to cry, like afterwards, like all the guys were like cheering and we were jumping in our circle and everybody was like, all right, Doc, you locked her up, everything, and I was like trying so hard not to cry because I've never put myself in a one-on-one competition type of atmosphere. Like I've never done that before. And it's just like, there was so much pressure. It was like running a like you guys, like this actually in the big picture, like this really wasn't a big deal at all. And like, I appreciate you guys like being so proud of me and making such a big deal, but there's so much more that I need to accomplish and that I need to do. Like this is just like this much, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to do so much more. And so, and I appreciate like you guys being so proud of me, but I also kind of feel like it's too much, like it's way too much. But that being said, like it was a lot of pressure, and the first girl, Alicia, she actually plays Taz in the new Space Jam movie that's coming out. Yeah.
Nice.
And the other girl, Bree, is like amazing. She's so fast and athletic, right? And so I was really, really nervous both times. And it felt like when it was done, when you see those videos of people like finishing the marathon and then they get to the finish line and they just like start crying or something, like that's how I felt. Because it was just like so much pressure and like on the line, like the game was on the line and my girls were watching. And that, that's like, I know you were asking that and I was trying to like build up to that, but like I could not let our team down and I couldn't let my girls down. Like I had to make sure that they were proud of me. And the most important thing was that I wanted them to know that it's like you're never too old to follow your dreams and do like the things that you want to do.
Absolutely. And trust me, I talked to them after and they were proud of you. And they're going to be proud of you regardless. They know as parents, most of us are parents on here. You're always going to be your worst critic. I do it all the time, literally all the time. But your kids are going to be proud of you regardless. So don't ever forget that. We're proud of you. It may be small to you, but it was huge to us. I mean, I jumped like 6 feet in the air. And that's not just the viral jump. I'm talking earlier. It was really, really cool. All right. George, I want to come to you real quick. How did you feel when Doc went ISO twice? Were you nervous? Were you excited? What were you feeling? You were right there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the video about that part, but I was excited behind the camera. I was like, go, Doc, go, Doc, go. All right, Doc, let's get it, Doc. So, like, from that point on, like, I kind of had confidence that Doc knows that, okay, I need to get this stop. just to secure a win, just so we could go to the next round. So, yeah, like you said, Doc, like you want to do it for your daughters, but as well as the team and as well as our whole organization, because we're proud of you. Your two daughters are proud of you, and then that, like you said, like that gives them like to your daughter, like you're giving your daughters a lesson, like, hey, like you're never too old of doing certain things. Like you always have to follow your dreams. It's never too late to follow your dreams. So that's what I like about that. And then like you just like it was your first time going one-on-one, let alone a great player in Alicia Taylor, aka Black Italian. So yeah, like, and she's a
AKA
very
Taz.
good player. Yeah, so she's a great player. I've seen her in the Drew League. I've seen her in the Basketball Beauties League. She is a very great player. Yeah, so I gotta say, like, I'm very proud of you. And then like at that moment, that reminded me of, like, I don't know if you guys saw the 2010 Finals Game 7 when Sasha Vujacic came in just to shoot those 2 free throws and sink.
Oh yeah.
So that's what reminded me when Doc went in at the pressure moments, when the pressure is at its highest, to try to stop not one but like 2 possessions to win the game for you guys, and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I also didn't know that P3 hasn't lost an ISO challenge for 2 years. Like that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that.
Told me that beforehand.
That's
I
funny.
definitely would have had to,
That would have been more.
But we still
find
had
a
confidence.
restroom.
Yeah.
But we still have confidence in you, even though he actually told you, or if he actually knew about it.
Absolutely. Coach, I know you're kind of busy right now, but could you throw in your 2 cents on how you feel about Coach Doc stepping up not once but twice and helping bring home that chip?
Well, yeah, it was cool to see, and cool to see everybody's reaction, supporting, not just Doc, but everybody on the team. And you could see the excitement through Ricky's text. There's a lot more emojis and exclamation points, especially I think you got a block on a girl, and yeah, he went crazy on text. Like, I've never received so many texts in one day from one person.
You told me every detail.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be after the game, but literally every play, every score, which I appreciated at the end. But if anybody asked me to ever do that, I'm never doing it, so don't ask.
It'd be there.
That was crazy, but I appreciate it. It kept me in the loop. I was making like tamarind juice, so I never made it, so it kept me going. So I was following the game along, but it was just really cool to see. But yeah, like P3's, like what Doc said, is that we've never been scored on the ISO in 3 years. And the guys really, and now Doc, and BI, Black Italian, was on our team last year. And we've never been scored on. And we probably scored on our ISOs 50%. Going at them, but we've never been scored on. The Hezzy guy tried to get us 4 times last season. And Mark locked them both down both times, and he barely got the shot off. It's on the P3 Instagram if you want to see, but they locked him up, and he's one of the best one-on-one players there is. So yeah, P3 don't mess around. If we get challenged, they step up. And Adam did the same thing in the final on the last play. He shut down 50, who's a international professional ball player, one of the best scorers around, and he stripped him, and it led to the game-winning bucket.
Yeah, that's right. Which you guys will see hopefully in just a few minutes. It honestly, it was like living 2 different experiences from 2 weeks ago and last week. Like, I was on edge the entire freaking time from like game 1 all the way to the end. You could ask Gilbert; he was next to me the whole time. And it was just like excitement and nerves all in one, but it was fun. And it was amazing to be able to be part of that with you guys and to follow that journey with you guys. And I'm not just you, Doc ISO, but everybody that took, it's not dropping. I'm sorry. I know it's not a correct medical term, but it's a basketball term and it's going to stick. I'm sorry. So coming from a nurse's son, I sadly know what that means. But anyway, it was awesome. And I personally would love to relive it. If you guys are down, I want to go and just relive the awesome
let's do it.
footage that our dude George took. So give me a minute here. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we're gonna have a little fun.
two-pointers. The point. Can he win the ball game? Kicks it over to that man Adam. Don't blame. Over to meat and potato. Let's go! With the victory! Week 2 champions of the BBL 4-week tournament. Right here in Long.
I don't know about you guys, but Buddha looked like playoff Rondo out there.
For real.
man.
Wow. Reliving that. First off, I got two things to say, and I'll let y'all jump in with your reactions. Number one, awesome footage, George. Straight up awesome.
Yes, good job, George.
So professional. It was awesome. Second, you are by far the most excited cameraman I've ever heard in my entire freaking life, dude.
Great.
George, taking that footage, man, just game by game, how are you feeling?
Man, I just feel amazing when I see these players play on the hardware. It's just for me, it's like I'm like reliving like what just had happened. So I feel like I'm living in two lives, only because when I'm looking it through the lens, and then I'm actually there. So I was really paying attention to the whole game, only because I was like more focused and seeing like, okay, like what's a highlight going to happen? Okay, what could I use for this clip or that clip? Yeah, it was just, I don't know, man. It was just amazing. That's all I could say about that.
Yeah, same thing. Me and G on the sidelines, we're just like, okay, same thing as you, because when you do interviews, it's the same thing. Okay, who are we going to interview? Who's going to get the game-winning shot? Who's going to get that game-stopping block twice? You know, stuff like that. Like, who am I going to go after? You know, G, you're right next to me. How are you feeling? Thinking, like we kept saying, who are we going to go after? Who's going to have that game winner? You know, how are you feeling?
I was feeling nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it was so overwhelming because when you guys had that run, you guys were winning. We had so many players to interview. We just didn't know who to interview because you guys were playing so great, you know? And we didn't want to hold you guys back so long because I know you guys had another game. But I just felt like nerve-wracking watching you guys keep going and going, finding a way to win, and you guys ended up pulling it off. And that's what that's why when what's it called, Big O made that big shot, I went running onto the court.
Yeah, he did.
I was so,
I saw that.
So, okay. Yeah, he did. Would have been funnier if we did like a double viral jump, right? Like you and me side by side. And for the record, I don't know who took that video, but shout out to them for getting that footage, because that was epic. I'm sorry. That's all I got to say. You can see it on the All Sports Media Instagram page if you want to see that. Coach, reliving the tournament finally with us around and finally getting to see those highlights all in a row. How did you feel seeing that, reliving that again?
Well, two things.
Uh-oh.
It shows the diversity and how P4E is as far as talent-wise, because Drew and Buddha especially, like our two core, they're the core of P4E, any P4E team we've had since 2018. And they've been the only ones that have been involved in all 7 of our championships now. You know, we won 6 in 2019 and now 1 in 2020. But they're a walking mismatch. So Buddha and Drew are both, Buddha's strong enough to play against a 6'8" dude, 6'9", whatever.
Definitely.
But to guard. So depending on who you, like you see in the post, both him and Drew, if they have a bigger guy on them, they brought him outside. If they have a little older guy on them, they brought him in the post. You know, Drew especially has taken his game to a whole nother level that nothing's been more proud of how he's grown on and off the court. Like, not even close as far as the ministry goes and P4E goes. I'm more proud of that guy than anything. That last play, the championship game, sums up his growth. So normally, even in last year or earlier this year, you know, he would have taken the post. He would have actually went outside and tried to get past him or shoot a three. But he took his time. He was patient. He went in the post. He drew the double team and he didn't force the pass quickly. You could see him. He took his time, got an angle, and looked across court and found Adam. And it just shows Drew's growth. You know, Oliver hit the shot, but that play doesn't happen if Drew's not patient with it. And it just shows his growth and everything. But it shows how much talent we have. Like, there was only one highlight of Percy. And Percy is the next tournament, just watch out.
Yeah.
Because for him to only have one highlight, he needs to be more aggressive. And he has the talent to do so. So he's as good enough to just have as much highlights as Drew. But it just shows how good and just how proud I am of everybody, and just that I could step away and not be there, and they represent P4E the right way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And shows how important, last thing, sorry, shows how important Buddha is.
Oh yeah.
Buddha changes everything we do. And I challenged Drew this week, you know, from the last week, from the first tournament to now. And before I thought Buddha was playing. And I challenged it was his squad now. Because before it's always been Buddha and then Drew. Mm-hmm. No, this is your squad, you lead them. You were a leading scorer the first tournament, but you didn't lead them. You were just the best player on the court. So like, you got to be the best player and lead the team. And, you know, I even spoke to Buddha right after the tournament, and he was like, Drew did his thing. And you could tell on the court, not just by the MVP, but just in the highlights, how he was directing traffic and everything, and how patient he was. You know, on the game winner, you know, against More Than Ball, he cleared out everybody. 2 years ago, he doesn't do that. He looks for Buddha and passes it to Buddha and plays off of him, or calls for a screen. But he knew he had the mismatch and he went at it. Yep. So, you know, it's just a stepping stone. You know, Drew's going to be getting paid big money soon. Mm-hmm. Just enough said.
And he absolutely should. Okay, Doc, we're going to come to you now. Oh, G, did you have something real quick?
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to throw this out there because after the championship game, remember we interviewed Buddha, and Buddha has some shots to fire. I don't know if you guys recall what he said after the game.
I wanted to put it on there, but we couldn't because you were wearing an Orca shirt.
What did he say?
Well, I don't know. Do you guys want to tell him?
You say you brought it up.
You said you brought it up.
Okay, well, Coach, long story short, Buddha was like, he said he's coming for your job. He said, I'll just leave it at that.
Like I said, with Buddha, last time we interviewed Buddha, he's going to be a coach.
Yep.
It is
You
what
did
it is.
call that. You did call that.
He's been a coach on the floor ever since he started playing with us.
So, and it's funny because he says he's not a coach, but you can see it. You can see it in him. He has it.
You could hear it in the interview. Like, it wasn't I'm the superstar player. I killed it on the court. It was I'm proud of my guys and girl. You know, we did really good. You know, I'm proud of the way they approached what was going on, and he talked like a coach, and it was so crazy, and he carried himself like a coach. And then he got the chance after our interview, and they had the real interview, the trophy, the ceremony with the shoes and stuff, and he got pretty crazy. It was pretty cool. Coach, you had something.
Well, it's just right when I knew I wasn't going to be able to be there, I called Buddha up and I asked him if he could coach, because there's no other person I trust. Actually, I want to play. I'm like, well, you have to coach too, and protect your finger. And I think the biggest thing and the biggest growth in the whole, those Adam and Drew and Buddha, the core of us, is that during the tournament, Buddha told me that he was having his way a little bit, and he kept going. And then, you know, they put a different defender on him, and he struggled a little bit. And Adam and Drew were both went up to him and said, like, hey, trust us. Mm-hmm. Before, there would be part trust and go back to Buddha because Buddha was so confident. But the fact that he trusted him, that's when he said the whole thing changed throughout the tournament, was when he started trusting his guys more, so letting them lead the way. And then Buddha could find out when he has a mismatch, his energy. So in a long tournament like that, you know, the funny part with Buddha is I was talking to him for like 20 minutes. He was driving home. And I'm like, hey, Buddha, like, you know, how do you feel at the end? He was like, you already know. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, you better take an ice bath. And he's like, yeah, I've been standing at my the staircase to my building for the last 5 minutes talking to you, trying to figure out how I'm going to walk up these stairs. Sums up his heart that he didn't show that on court, but he's 37, 38. You know, like his body doesn't heal as much, and the fact that he can rely on a couple of other guys now, and even more so guys like Oliver and guys we're working in the fold, and we got a couple of other surprises coming up, and so yeah, it's just a cool thing that P3 is. People want to play for P3, knowing what we are, and I won't go too far into that, but knowing what we are and how different we are, yet there's real ball players that want to play for us, and that's just amazing.
Absolutely, I agree. Doc, I want to jump over to you. You lived it. Now you just relived it. How did you feel seeing all those highlights, especially year 2? And don't be all humble.
It's very exciting to be a part of that. You know, the guys just really killed it. They really did. And to see the camaraderie between everybody, and like Coach says, it's different. Like, there's a different vibe. Yeah, everybody wants to win, but everybody is also loving and respectful and encouraging with each other. And that's the kind of environment that, you know, it's just like such a blessing to be around. It's where people can thrive and people can grow. And if you do something wrong, yeah, you're going to get your ass, you're going to get called on it, right? But
yeah.
But it's like, it's almost like you're safe to play your game. And Buddha just, again, he just changes the dynamic completely. He's the kind of leader that makes you want to do your best because he's doing his best, and he just like brings everybody up with him. Like, there's a phrase called rising tide rises all tides, right? So like, individually we go out there and we do our best and we try our hardest and we go all out, then everybody's going to come up. But everybody's going all out and doing their best and everything, then we're all going to come up even more so. And that's like the kind of feeling that Buddha gives. And so it was great. Like, I just love Buddha. You guys know that. Like, I just have so much respect for him, and I think he's such a great person, and he's so humble yet confident. Mm-hmm. And so a few weeks ago, he came in to see me, and he called me the next morning after he played that night after I treated him. And he was like, Doc, I just want to let you know, like, I'm like pre-quarantine Buddha. Like, I'm back. Like, thank you so much for the treatment. Like, I feel amazing out there. Like, I was like my arms and my legs and my brain were all connected and everything was going smoothly and I killed it, you know, and everybody was like, dang, like, where'd you come from? And so like, it's such a great feeling when Buddha like says something like that to me. Like, I felt like so amazing. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the same thing after the game, like, he called me and he's just like, I just want to let you know how proud I am of you. Like, you did amazing. And I know that he did that for everybody. And I know that everybody got that same feeling of like, yes, like, I made him proud. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you feel like a sense of accomplishment, like, and that makes you want to work even harder. But like, I've been working so hard, like lifting as much as I can, like getting stronger and everything this whole week. And, you know, just like working on like all my range of motion and my push so that I could start shooting. And Adam and Buddha went on live after the game and they were celebrating, you know, and they're talking and they're like, Doc, you better shoot the ball. Like, if you don't shoot the ball, we're going to take you out and put somebody in that will. So you better shoot the ball. Like, and I was like, okay, all right. They're like, I don't care if you get blocked. I don't care, whatever, like, shoot the ball. Because I've been so like apprehensive, like not wanting to get blocked again, first of all, but also not wanting to mess things up for us. Like, wanting to just like do whatever I can to be in, like, in the background and facilitate. But they gave me like the green light to play my game. So I'm really excited.
How does it feel to get that kind of respect? Like, they're saying, take the rock, you know, do it. How does that feel?
Well, that's actually that's what I was like waiting to get, like I'm the new person on the team, and Buddha's the only person that I've played with before.
Mhm.
And so everybody else like doesn't know. And even though I'm a lion on the inside, like I'm like a chihuahua on the outside, right?
Hey, those are ferocious little dogs, all right? Ankle biters.
So so I've been a little apprehensive. Like I was watching the tape and I'm like, why am I running like that up and down the court? Like you could just see like in my body language, I've been so apprehensive, like not playing, not like being me. And so that just really felt great that they were like, please play your game.
Mhm.
So that was really cool because I've been wanting to get their respect and I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I was forced into it. So that was perfect.
So with that said, what are you going to take going into week 3?
Just confidence to be able to know that everybody has that confidence in me, and like to be able to play my game. And again, I've been working really hard, like a lot of weights and working on like speed and everything, and just changing my mindset because I was being very apprehensive. So I'm not going to be like that anymore. I'm going to play my game.
Sounds good to me. Coach, when do we know when the week 3 tournament is?
Well, supposedly it's supposed to be next Sunday, but with the new lockdowns,
So it's up in the air.
who knows? Nick will probably try to still do something. I don't know if he should, because they took down the courts at Long Beach.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty much the next day. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it's worth playing the tournament if people are going to lose the court they play on.
Yeah.
Another court, those guys at Long Beach that play in that court every day or on the weekends can't play now. And it's not all their fault, but I think that's the straw that broke.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we'll see how it goes. In this 2020, who knows?
Yeah, because it's up in the air right now. The reason I ask is because a lot of our viewers, they don't know how this tournament works. Could you possibly explain it just a little bit, the whole 3-week or 4-week?
Well, there's 4 mini tournaments, and we've already had 2 that lead into a grand championship that plays for $5,000, winner take all. And so if you win one of the 4 tournaments, you automatically qualify for the grand championship, whatever you want to call it, final tournament, which was supposed to be in December. So we'll see how it goes. And then after that, then the top 2 to 4 teams will play in it also. I think there's a team from Chicago, team from back east that are supposed to play in it. They get automatic spots. And then, 2 or 3 more teams that didn't win a tournament will qualify.
Okay.
And you just play the grand championships played the same way.
Okay.
Loser bracket, winner bracket, and for all the money.
That's gonna be cool. I'm excited for that one. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but Coach, I kind of agree with you on the whole them taking the court down thing. It's so weird right now, especially because everybody was so happy at the event, and then out of nowhere, bam, we're into purple on COVID, and it's insane. And part of you wants to play, especially the players. Doc's like itching to get back out there. Buddha's getting ready, wants to get back out there. They all want to get back out there. But then the back of your head, it's also like, hey, our numbers are skyrocketing. It's crazy. Maybe we should take a small break and then hopefully be able to jump back in. But didn't you say a while back that there's some more tournaments that are supposed to happen in January? Would that overlap into those tournaments? If maybe they
in a normal year, there's always tournaments, always leagues going on. P4E normally plays in our own league, which is every Monday night, which has become one of the top weeknight leagues in California.
Mm-hmm.
Up with anybody, player for player. And then we play in 2 to 3 different leagues, other leagues that they play in our league, we play in their league.
Yeah.
And then playing a couple pro-am leagues. Legacy pro-am, we're going to try to play the JBL pro-am, which is 2 of the top leagues, not named the Drew. And trying to get in the Drew. This past year, we barely missed out. One team, Undisputed, which is kind of like became our rival. They got the spot over us, which they should because they've been going at it farther and they have a bigger pool of players at that time to pull from. Players, but now we're on a level where we can pull from a lot. You know, the Orcas have added to that pool in the ABA connections that I have now, that we have a big pool of professional players to pull from to compete in the Drew, and that's the next goal. So we'll see how that. We'll have to wait a whole another year because the same teams that play this year will be in next season because.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just one big waiting game. Like life in general right now is just one big waiting game, no matter what business you're in right now.
Really?
So it's crazy all around. I want to make a couple little announcements before we log out. Number 1, our very own Robbie Hardaway is going to be a daddy again. He's getting a little girl this time. So that's pretty awesome. So shout out to him. I think that's awesome for him because he got injured really bad at the Corona tournament a while back. And we didn't know if he was going to get back on the court. And he's been rehabbing like crazy. If you watch his Instagram, he's been rehabbing like crazy. And then for this to happen for him, you know, I'm super happy for him. And he's going to be awesome dad ×2 now with the little pink backpack and everything. I could see him totally doing it too. That's what we got, another girl dad on our team. I think that's awesome. So there's that. And then for you guys viewing for the first time or maybe only seen a couple episodes, we've always covered, like Coach was saying, the Oxnard Orcas, but we are going to expand. We are going to expand to not only other players from other teams, which I've already reached out to, but I want to reach out to other sports. That's why I've changed the name to All Sports Media presents Dubl Drbl. Or if you come to our Instagram, it's All Sports Media, or on our YouTube, youtube.com, All Sports Media team. I'm going to reach out. I have some fighters. I have friends that are in Bellator. If you have any other athletes, you guys right here, any other athletes or up-and-coming athletes that would be interested in joining the show, just let me know. We'll make it happen. It could be anything from golf to baseball to, like I said, UFC, Bellator, whatever. Let me know, and we're going to expand this thing. And like I said, we're going to try to make this bigger than what we got. And who knows? Who knows, you guys? It takes one person to notice. Who knows? Let's go for it. That's what I say. What do you guys think? What do you think, George?
No, I think it's awesome, like expanding like our league only because like you said, we are an all sports media team. So we want to I guess our goal is we want to get as many up and coming athletes as possible to like tell them like what their expectations are like going into their features endeavors in terms of like sports, whether it's basketball, soccer, baseball, hockey, whatever it is. I think it's cool that we interviewed those types of players, and it'll do good for us like in the long run.
And we could also still reach out to professionals, you know, even like sports entertainers as well. That's the beauty of Twitter, Instagram. You can reach out to literally anybody. What do you think, G? What do you think about our?
I love it, man. I love it.
Would you fanboy if I got a cowboy? You probably would. You probably would.
I would.
You totally. Doc, what do you think? You think we should go for it? Let's do it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Yeah, why not?
And you got the connections, so who knows? Big name people. We get your buddy Meta on here. Who knows? You know, me and Coach.
Or Bone Collector.
Bone Collector, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So we're gonna make it bigger, guys. We've said this for a while. It started off at a scratch. We came like a puzzle. We came together. We're gonna make it big. We're going bigger. We're going big or going home. There's no other way to live life. No other way to live life, right? So if you guys got anything else you guys want to throw out, either VBL, P4E related, Coach, do we have any other P4E events scheduled coming up, or are we, like I said, on hiatus right now for a while?
Yeah, as far as playing, we're just on, waiting game. The VBL, if it continues, we don't have to play in another tournament to play in the final. So I've already driven Buddha about that. We're going to see how the COVID situation is and how the shutdowns are, because we don't want, like I said, we don't want people to lose another court.
Mm-hmm.
Jeopardy. We support that, but we'll see how it goes. But just there'll be stuff on Instagram, prayer sessions coming up. We try to do it every couple of weeks. So if you know anybody that needs anything,
Absolutely.
Keep a lookout, and we'll do live prayer at that very moment. And we're always open. Send us a DM, and we'll pray for it.
Absolutely.
And we added a female onto the P4E leadership team, I guess. Keisha, who Doc knows. She's had God's worked in mighty ways in her life this year, and she's stepping up. She just did the devotion on Thanksgiving for us on the Instagram. If you haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was pretty dope.
Yeah,
Keisha.
and she's a goofball in the nicest way.
Yep.
So, and she's a doc too. So it's great. So I'm looking forward to adding a women's league to P4E in the near future.
That's gonna be awesome.
That'd be great.
Be great.
Awesome.
That's gonna be crazy. Those are the type of people that you want. You want the goofballs who have lived the life situations that people are going through, especially today, especially during the holidays. I covered this on my radio show yesterday. Holidays are the hardest time for people with depression, bipolar, anything like that, because they feel alone, and right now with the lockdown, it's even worse. So this is the time where you need to text somebody. This is the time where you need to call somebody. There's face chat. Just seeing a face. I've noticed, I'm a big texter. Sorry, coach knows that. I'm a huge texter. I'm a huge Instagram messenger because I'm always doing something. But when you can face chat with someone, when you can hear their voice, when you can feel their emotion, it's just a whole nother experience, So if you got the chance to reach out to someone, make sure you go off and do that. So, that's pretty much what I got right now. Anybody else, we're all good? Coach, we're good?
Well, I would like to say, make sure now that we're going into another lockdown, that everybody gets outside, gets sun, stays healthy, stay low on the sugar. Vitamin D levels are one of the most important things that you can do to keep your body healthy. The studies show that people who have the low vitamin D are most susceptible to catching the virus and also having a bad experience with it. So make sure you stay outside and get your sun. That's one of the most important things you can do. And I love Keisha. I wanted to say, I played with her in the loot, and she immediately we were fast friends. She's just the sweetest, and love her. So I'm really excited to hear that.
I've seen her play.
There you go. And we get the medical straight from the doc. So make sure you guys are doing it. George, what you got? Anything?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see a women's P4E, only because women have to be more exploited in a sense, only because without women in our world, what kind of world are we living in? You feel me?
Exactly.
So I think it's great. I think it's great to have a women's league. I'm just as excited as I am for the future endeavors for BBL or for any other sports league that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully after this pandemic ends, we don't know when it's gonna end, but whatever it is, we're ready for it. So absolutely. I'm excited.
Absolutely. And the girls at the VBL totally showed that. Doc and, Lady Vicious and Black Italian and everybody was there. They showed exactly what you just said.
Stefania,
exactly.
Oh, two more things. Two more things.
Then we got G.
You guys know Deja. So she's the sweetest, right? So she...
Oh, Deja Vu?
So when they threw the ISO card on me, she was like, "Don't disrespect the doctor. Y'all don't know. Because we played together in X versus X before too. I thought that was so cute. I was like, "Oh, thank you for having my back." And then number two, she and Stefania both said something, and I was like, "No, I'm 41," and they were like, what? You're 41? Like, no. Like, how? Like, what do you mean? No.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And then it's been really great playing with a bunch of group of girls with the X versus X, and a lot of people who share my same faith like have been popping up there, and it's been a really cool experience playing with a lot of women with a lot of faith. So it's been really cool.
Awesome. Again, go check out X for X. If you don't have the information for that, you can hit up Doc on her Instagram or any of her social media, and we'll make that happen as well. So, go ahead. One more.
Just kidding. One more. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to say thank you, George, for the awesome content and doing the video. But there was one part where I was like, oh, that was really awesome. So Showtime said, there's about to be some girl on girl action. And then immediately George said, women empowerment. And I was like, oh, there we go. Thank you.
Love it.
I had to throw that in there, Doc. I had to throw that in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, George, you made that video much more entertaining. I mean, it was already entertaining, but you like took it up like 10 notches. It was freaking great. All right, G, close us out, bro.
Oh man, I'm just looking forward to the future. Great things are coming for us. I'm glad to be part of this team. And I'm ready for our next show.
Yep.
So
coming up. I've talked to Oliver. More than likely we're gonna have him next week. That is the plan, to get him back next week when there's no family stuff going on. And we have the lockdown, so no excuses. Hopefully we'll get Oliver in here. If not, then you go on the fly like we always do, and you guys are awesome when we do that. Speaking of women empowerment, I got a story coming up in Triple B 2.0 at 12:30 today on the Zoomcast and later on our YouTube, about a girl who is actually, I think she's playing right now for Vanderbilt University. So in football. So I got that story if you want to hear it. Either join our YouTube later, youtube.com, All Sports Media, later on. Or you can ask me for a Zoomcast and you can come check it out. So with that said, this was fun. I love reliving things with you guys. Everybody has a different approach. Everybody has a different emotion, but we're all one big family, like you said before. So it's freaking awesome. So on behalf of myself, Double R, Ricky Rodriguez, we got Doc ISO over here. We got George. We got G. We got the coach. Everybody, it's still Thanksgiving weekend. Cherish your family. Love your family. Stay together and just be there for the ones that need you right now. We'll check you next week, and hopefully Oliver will be hanging out with us. Peace out.
Peace out, you guys.
Thank you.